So I would leave it over to Abdallah. I know he has a few questions. So
Mhm.
Abdallah, anything you'd like to
Yeah.
add?
So for me, first I will make a comment, then three questions. And of course, the most interesting part for the end is we will take a quick scenario and try to work it out if it's good for
Okay.
you. So yeah, the comment is I've worked with teams with BAs and teams without BAs, and the difference is like night and day. Without BAs, it's like the developer should be doing everything and we are confused most of the time. And at the end of the day, we cannot deliver. So I really like and appreciate the work BAs do. That's very important, I think. Even if the team is small, I think it's very important because developers cannot focus on both things. It's
Mhm.
tough and we cannot do our job. So first question is, let's say I am at a university and I want tomorrow to, you've already explained the importance of BA and so on and so forth, but I want to get into BA. What kind of course should I do in order to get into it?
Uh, hmm, Difficult question. What kind of course? So as I said, right now, at least in Poland, there are even universities that you can that took the semesters within the university and learn the law. You have a lot of courses available online or can apply to it, etc. So I strongly recommend to start with something. Even the webinars about what is the backlog, what is user story, or what's the value, etc. Just start from understanding what is the role, what's the artifact that we are preparing within the role, and then go deeper and deeper and deeper. So if you know why the backlog is needed, then go deeper, how to manage the backlog, go deeper, how to write the user story deeper, what is the acceptance criteria, why they are so important, etc. Then start to understand how we are doing our work, like what is delivery process? Is it agile? Is it waterfall? What are the differences? How we approach our work within those frameworks? Because agile is something different than the waterfall, etc., etc. It's also, we have discussed a role of a BA, and I'm saying a role of the BA more as from my experience, a role of a BA that understands the client and speaks with the client directly or a user. But I know that in many companies, a BA is somebody that reads and translates the documentation to a solution. It's also very important to understand where you find yourself better, because some people work with documentation better or the tickets, and some working with directly with the client. Yes, so I will start with whatever works for you, if it's a webinar or a course, but start with the basics, and then go a little bit deeper. And also, it's a tricky question, just because somebody asked me recently, should I start with the IT or should I start with the analysis? That depends on your background, because I have a technical background. I'm not a developer anymore for many years, although I used to know Java. Uh, but my technical backgrounds helped me to understand the business that I'm in, the needs of the developers, etc., etc. For the people, and I do have this experience as a head in the department, that a lot of people does not have the IT grades, and they need to learn how to cope with the IT, but not having the degree in the IT, which is actually completely doable. Like a lot of great BAs did not finish the university with the engineering degree, and they are very, very great BAs, advisor, etc. But you need to learn and understand the business that you are in. So when there is an investment on your side. Also, we haven't spoke about it, but as a business analyst, you have to have this ownership and leadership. Uh, you sort of a leadership in a leadership role within the team, yeah. You need to be curious, but you need to be also have to be. You need to have this courage to speak and ask this question, why questions. Um, so yeah, I would say after this basics, also invest in your soft skills, as you said, communication, challenging, maybe negotiations, etc. Because there are a lot of soft skills in these roles that you won't not learn only as a graduate student or something like that. Yeah. Even volunteering with some communities, reading something, doing a voluntary work, that will help you to gain this knowledge and expertise that you are trying to get. And sometimes, and I see that again, a lot of examples in my mentoring experience, that some of the people only think that they know what the business analyst is and they want to be in the role, but during doing those basics work, they are saying, okay, but I'm more happy with going in the PM path because I prefer this role a little bit different, and it's fine. Yeah, but at least you know what jingles with you and what not. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. I think you answered another question that I wanted to ask you, whether you need
Oh.
this technical background, but no problem. One thing I would like to know, when Hidayat mentioned that, yeah, we are going to get a BA. So the number one question I had in my mind, and a lot of people asked me this before and I couldn't really answer. So when we use Agile, we have so many different roles. So maybe you could enlighten us. What's the difference between, I've already asked Hidayat once about this. What is the difference between BA, PM, project manager, product owner, but also product manager, and Scrum Master? Because I have the impression that some teams use only one person to do all of that, but I've worked on other teams that have this role for everyone.
Mm-hmm. And that's the most difficult question during this day because it's very, very difficult to explain it simply without the chart, who is where and why. I will start with 3 roles, like the PM, technical architect, and business analyst. It's we call it a project triangle. For me, the PM is to manage the team and push everything from my side that bothers me to achieve the goal. The BA is the one that keeps the scope, the goal, and is very, I would say, assertive when it comes to people that wants to, add things to our goal, to our budget everywhere. But most of the business analysts are not dealing with the budget. So again, I'm looking at Hidayat. It will be probably your part more than mine. But I need to be aware that there is a budget, and I need to be assertive that if something goes in, then something needs to go out, because it's never the stretch. And the technical architect is the brain of the system. Like, he knows how the system should look like. He needs to understand what is the scope, what is the components that also PM needs to have, the budget, what are the risks, what are the assumptions, what are the capabilities, etc., etc. But he is the technical brain of this puzzles. Because, for example, I'm not able to organize the database or even prepare the technical solution. He is the one that will tell me, Kasia, it is doable within this technical solution. Yeah, I understand what you want to achieve. I understand your problem. This is my part that I'm bringing to the table. Let's try this solution in this form. Yes, and now in this triangle you have those. I would say I don't want to call it bubbles, but let's stick for a second to this name. For example, a designer, and it should be a person that helps, again, the triangle people to design it in a way that it is user friendly, that it is viable, that still understands the answers, the needs, etc., etc. So there are a lot of roles that helps to deliver what we need to deliver. The Scrum Master, it's more that the question to Hidayat, where is the Scrum Master, where is the PM? Because I've worked in several projects where there are both roles, sometimes only one role. And even sometimes I work in a team, once I work in a team that we haven't had a PM or Scrum Master, and some of the work was done by PA, or a product owner. Because somebody needs to have, you need to think it in this way. There is a lot of activities in the delivery team that somebody needs to take. If not somebody, something will fail. You need to know what, or you need to have an appetite for risk for this failure. But yeah, if the ceremonies that you have within your team are well defined, like who is responsible for the refinement, who is responsible for planning, who is responsible for daily, etc., it will go smoothly. And it can be one person if it's doable for a smaller project, but it shouldn't be one person. Yeah. So, for example, daily or planning, maybe more Scrum Master, maybe PM, maybe the technical lead. For refinement, definitely be the BA, because it's about the scope, it's about the solution. So it's my part to be involved in this meeting. Yes. Saying that, the product owner, some companies do have a product owner, some do not have the product managers. Also, sometimes they are very engaged with the project. Sometimes they are not. And the role of the BA is to have a very broad conversation, and very often conversation with the product owners, just to get familiar with the scope and the need and the challenge and the value. But I also know some of the product owners that are very, very active within those teams that are building the solution, and every single day they are on the calls, very active, etc. And I know the product owners that were available only once per week. It's not enough for the project, but it's doable when you have a BA that is taking this role a little bit like a proxy product owner, understands and sometimes asks those questions themselves. Yeah. So this question is quite challenging.
It can continue forever. So
yeah, it can.
Let's just take our.
We have so many roles right now. Product in products in delivery. If we could talk for hours, and separate podcasts will be.
You and Dave don't know. Yes. So let's take a quick scenario that I was thinking right now. So let's say we have a customer that approaches us with a requirement. They have a platform that enables the general public to book appointments with attorneys or lawyers. But what they want to do is they already have the platform, but it's very old. They want to rebuild it using more modern UI, UX. And they also want to add two features. One is you're able to book in your calendar, you book a time slot with the lawyer or barrister. And second, maybe you're able to pay as well. So previously there were no payment. Now you want to add payment depending on the hours. So how would you proceed with that?
I would start to investigate why they are trying to rebuild the platform as a whole. Maybe the payment system is available for them for the old platform. I understand the rebranding part, etc. But it's all about the budget. If you want to throw everything away and build a new solution, then we should discuss the things, how we would like to build it, what stays, what goes out, what kind of new features will be available, how the rebranding should look like, etc., etc. But sometimes those kind of platforms needs to be built from scratch, just because, for example, the support is very costly, or simply the features are not applicable anymore to the current processes that they have. So what you just described is the whole transformation for the company, because sometimes you just need to you even have to go a little bit deeper to understand what kind of processes the current software is supporting and what is not. So the whole analysis will be actually to analyze everything, not only those features, admin departments. You need to understand what the application looked like before, how to build a new one. You have to speak with the users, even why they haven't used it same way, or what would be their expectation of the payments, because for you the payments may be the credit card or some authentication, and for me the payment can be a watch that I can pay.
Mhm.
So even the concept of payment is a very wide topic, and my favorite example is that some time ago we were discussing about reports. And believe me, about reports you can discuss a lot. And some of the people thought that the reports would be in PDF, and some of the people were discussing the same reports in Power BI because they have a license, but they haven't told me that. So, even the small concept, the one feature, one requirement can go in so many directions that you really need to investigate the case and the problem. Firstly, why they need to rebuild the system, what are the expectations, and what are the musts for them, for the new systems to work in this particular way. And is it really what they think they needed, or it's really what they need? Because as I said on the payment example, maybe they have some imagination how the user will work. And maybe we need to also check if it's true. I'm not saying it's not true, because most of the clients, know what they want to achieve and knows their business, etc. But sometimes even those discoveries shows that those questions lead us to our different answers, and sometimes we need to rethink the solution just because we were having a thesis and we need to check the thesis. It's very sorry to jump to a product, but it's very, very important also for product that you need to invest in hypothesis, to check the hypothesis and to experiment. That's why the mock-ups, that's why prototyping is so powerful. Yeah. Before you will go to the solution, prototype the solution. Invest your time in solutionizing and prototyping, even as a high fidelity concept. But until you know what you are building, don't go to full analysis because it's waste of your time. Yeah. If you not have this verification of the first page. Yeah. And try to be also focus on the MVP. What is really, really must and what is the should, because I'm assuming that maybe payments right now is very important, but the second feature, I'm not sure if it was so important.
Yes, perhaps. Thank you.
From day one at least.
Yeah, indeed. No,
Yeah.
thank you for your answer.
The iterative approach, so I'm not saying something
Yeah,
that you will
generally.
be
Yeah, because
surprised.
one of the way I'm a developer, for me, if I get these requirements, I start coding right away. I take the code, I maybe create a new project in one of the nowadays bleeding technologies, let's say React, Node.js, or even .NET Core 8. I will just start writing, but I will miss so many important things that you described. And the project might most probably go into failure. And of course, you even mentioned a budget at first and the scope. Hidayat also talked a lot about this. And we developers, we don't have any idea about that, by the way.
My favorite
I think
question when it comes to business analysis is what kind of problem do we want to solve? Because if you ask yourself this question every single time writing the user story or writing your code, you will know if it should be a pixel perfect solution, if it needs to be, must have, but you can compromise some parts of the system. Because if you really know what the problem is, then you will know how to solve it. But first you need to know what problems do you want to solve.
cool. That was really enriching. I was just typing the first one. What kind of problem?
I have seen it from my friends.
That's
I
right.
was very often saying the sentence, so I thought.
That's really nice. I think that was a wonderful intervention. I really appreciate your time, Katarzyna. Thanks
No
to be
problem.
here, and thanks everyone.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye.